let's attempt the 2 million pops challenge with Adora. And while we're doing that, I also want to take down this SJB record. So he made it up to round 107 on Chimps mode on this map, and I actually want to beat that. So since Adora is kind of expensive and you can't afford it right out of the get-go, we needed to defeat a couple of these rounds using only Dark Monkeys. So let me have Adora like this just in the center, and there we go. So the 2 million pops challenge with Adora is actually very much possible, but the thing is that you need to be very strategic about it. So Adora is one of the slowest leveling heroes in BT6, and unless she gets some external help, she's never going to reach maximum level by her own. And that's really important for us because we need to be very strategic about how we play this. So waking up today, I was like, I just want to play Adora, and I had no plans for this video, and I was like, wait a minute, what if I do a 2 mega pops? And so I was looking through the maps and I saw SGB's record of like round 107, and I was like, wait a minute, we can do 2 in 1. We can get the 2 million pops on Adora, and then we can try and beat SJB's record, which there might be a thing going like SJB's the Adora guy and ISAB is the Solid guy. But anyway, so let me use the level 3 ability and let's just get some stuff going, some damage going to these guys. Alright, so first off, we have a Camo Bloon incoming, so let me just try and get, we're not gonna have the money for a village. Okay, that's a little unfortunate. So you know what, I'm actually gonna upgrade this Dark Monkey, and even though I'm upgrading it, we're not exactly worried about these Dark Monkeys in general. I use them to start the game, but we actually don't exactly care about them. But actually, we're just gonna sacrifice them using the level 7 ability. So as long as they don't get too many pops, we should be good to go. And you know what, we need to use the level 3 ability now because she cannot pop purples, but once you do it, she gets double range essentially. The divine bolts get double pierce, but also her attack type changes to normal, which means that she can pop any type bloon. And you guys see this button, unlock level 6. You should never press this button on Adora, at least maybe until she gets level 7 or something like that. But after you get level 7, you should never press this button because sacrificing towers and using them as XP is 4 times more efficient than just buying the XP outright like this. So for each dollar of towers you sacrifice, you get 4 times more XP. And not to mention that the blood sacrifice ability gives her a lot of extra range, and it actually gives her a rate of fire, which is essentially an extra attack speed that she gets. And these bonuses increase the more expensive towers you sacrifice. So we have to be really careful with the money and how we spend it. So let's actually see if we're going to be able to defend these. I'm not a microing Sala or anything like that. Wait, did I say Sala? I meant Adora. I'm not microing Adora or anything like that. It is close, and there are ceramics at the back. So yeah, we might need to do something about this round. Let me just play it kind of fast, and yeah, definitely. Okay, so I'm going to do something that shouldn't be done, and I'm actually going to buy this thing. So I need the level 7 right now, and we need the level 7 ability so we can sacrifice this Dark Monkey right here. And so once we sacrifice this guy, we can have an Alchemist, which is going to go just like this. And so the idea for this spot for the Alchemist, by the way, is that it is so far from this other side, right? So it's not going to be able to attack, but it's still going to be able to buff Sala. Let me just get like a 3-2-0 just to start things off, and let's see how we do. Yeah, this is so much better, actually. Oh my god, one Alchemist, it changes everything. I should probably sacrifice this thing. We're not going to, I don't think we're going to get too much extra attack speed from this, but I'm just gonna use it and let's see how we do. Oh, she's not gonna, this is not gonna be enough, is it? You know what, let me actually use the level 3 ability. This doesn't last very long, but we're gonna have to have it because, can we pop the mob? So the mob barely pops. Alright, so let's actually give her the jungle jumps, which is just a little bit of extra attack speed, and I feel like maybe we want to do something to kind of hold these ceramics and the small blues in place. So maybe just like a glue. I mean, at this point we don't even care about these small towers, right? Because we are just gonna straight up sacrifice them, right? And now as soon as this mob pops, we're gonna use the level 3 ability because it actually doesn't do anything. And let me just see if this is going to be enough. Yes, that's all it took. It's just the glue, guys. That was all we needed. So when we're talking about sacrificing towers to Adora, we need to be very strategic about it because I think that the minimum, so this is like the blood sacrifice ability is at level 1. It gets stronger later on. Let me just use level 3, by the way, so we deal with these purples. I think the minimum amount of money, not the minimum, but I guess the minimum so you can trigger the maximum bonus is $2,500. And so that is, I think, the amount at which we need to be looking at sacrificing. And now we're going to see some mobs. And so the question is, can we deal with mobs now? And I feel like Adora is a lot stronger than she was, and we can also upgrade the Alchemist. We can buy an overclock and all these nice things, but let's see if she deals with the mob before the mob reaches the Alchemist. That's really important. I feel like the answer to that question is no. So let me just sacrifice this Dark Monkey at the back. Let me use the level 3 ability, and we're gonna need to wipe these guys. And yeah, we are definitely going to need an overclock to start things off. And are we dealing with, oh my god, we're not dealing with this. Oh, that was barely. Okay, that's thanks to the Alchemist, by the way, which is now at 259 pops. So let's let's see how much the overclock is gonna change, because I feel like some extra attack speed is definitely not gonna hurt, but we're gonna need some more damage on extra attack speed. Okay, so in the next few rounds, I'm actually not gonna sacrifice things to Adora. I just want to see her normal leveling up and how much she falls behind, and then once we start getting some money, and then once we get into these higher rounds, then we're gonna start doing some sacrifices. So yeah, let's see how we do. I need to use the ability. I feel like I don't know. She's overclocked, and what I'm looking at is as long as these ceramics and small balloons don't reach the alchemist, I'm 100% fine with that. Okay, you know what? Let me actually get the strongest thing, which is gonna give a little bit of extra pierce, and I feel like this pierce is gonna make all the difference in the world. Oh yeah, look at this thing. This was just a little bit of extra pierce, a little bit of extra attack speed, and I feel like this is just it. Okay, so I only did one new thing in these past 2 rounds, and that is just getting the relentless going. I feel like this is really, really important to have this tower, because Adora just needs some extra help. I feel like Adora is gonna get the damage eventually by herself. I also wanted to get it before we get to the BFB, and hopefully we pop this thing on time. So do we have a tower to sacrifice? We kind of want to be a little bit careful with the towers that we sacrifice. So what is a tower that costs about $2,500 is my question. We're gonna need to do some maths, but before we do that, let me use the level 3 ability just to get through these guys a little bit faster. Well, actually, it's not gonna get through them a little bit faster, but it is going to give us a little bit of extra range, and there we go. So let me use the level 3 ability, actually, and I feel like if I use it now, we should have it back for round 63, right? Oh, wait a minute. Oh, no, I shouldn't have done that. Okay, so we do have a little bit of an issue, and it's not the level 3 ability, because it's not gonna last anyways throughout this entire thing, so we need to actually find a way to deal with these purple balloons. Okay, so what is the cheapest way that we can deal with these purple balloons without it taking too many pops? And I was thinking getting a tag, so maybe we do something like this. Is this gonna be enough? Like, is one of these guys gonna be? I really hope it is. Let's just see, because it's kind of gonna combine with the glue. I see some leaks. Actually, one of them is not gonna be enough. Let's try 2. We can sacrifice them, so it's not exactly, it's not a problem buying these guys, but it's more of a, dealing with the purple balloons. And maybe, you know what, I shouldn't have used the level 3 ability in the previous round, but you know what, I guess you live and you learn, so hopefully we deal with this round like this. I'm actually gonna sacrifice one of these guys to get some attack speed. Do we actually have this thing? Because I see the level 3 ability coming off cooldown, and I'm just waiting patiently to use it. Oh my god, I have no idea how we're surviving. I'm gonna use the level 3 ability now because we have some 45 mobs. Are we actually gonna survive this thing? Oh my god, we actually did. And we got level 10 thanks to that. There was only 2 taxures, and it didn't steal too many pops. Oh my god, 1.3k pops. Alright, let me just hack this guy. What? I thought they didn't take too many pops. It was like 1.3 on that guy, and the other one had like more pops for sure. But our good thing is that we have the ball of light, which is hopefully going to delete. Oh my god. So it lasted for 2 waves of ceramics, and that is probably not ideal. So let's try and see if the level 3 ability is gonna be of any help. Let's overclock. She does have the overclock, but we just need to get rid of these guys. Yes. Wow, these abilities. And this is gonna be the entire run, guys. So you have to be very careful with sacrifices and with abilities and everything. And oh my god, this is just gonna be, it's gonna be either a nightmare or super fun. Alright, so it's round 75, and we have a couple of problems and a couple of things I want to talk to you guys about. So first off, this alchemist has been taking a decent amount of pops, and that is because he can somehow reach this other side. Now, second of all, we have a very important level coming, which is level 13, which is going to allow the divine balls to pierce through even more balloons. And if I remember correctly, I did some preparation for this video, and I think the numbers on the wiki were like getting the pierce from 8 to 13. And so here's what I want to do. I actually want to sacrifice this alchemist, and I want to see how many levels. Well, it's not going to be like a full couple of levels, but it's going to be, oh, wait a minute, we got level 13. Okay, that's amazing. Now, I know that we lose the alchemist, but I kind of wanted to try and reposition this guy. Is it going to be able to buff? Yeah, so it's buffing Adora for sure, but is it going to be able to attack over here on the other side? So that's a little bit of an issue. So maybe it can't attack here, but it can now attack here on the bottom. So I don't know, man. This map is actually a menace. Let's play this thing very clever. So first off, let's use the ball of light, and hopefully we defeat these balloons so that we can have it up for this round. And are we going to burn through all of these guys? I really hope we do. Yes. Oh my god, that was almost perfect. That was amazing. I think I want to be careful actually, because the next round is going to have 2 waves of these ceramic balloons. So actually, do we use the level 10 ability is my question. Or wait a minute, do we even have a choice? I don't think we do. I think we have to use the level 10 ability right now. Yeah, that wasn't ideal, but we actually have a lot of money, so we have some choices, I feel like. So first off, is the level 3 gonna come off cooldown? That is my question, and it seems like the answer is no. So let's get the overclock. It might barely come off cooldown, but I don't feel like it's gonna do anything. I mean, if we defend this wave somehow, we're not defending it, but if we defend this way, what? How are we still alive? We should not be alive at this point. That was the closest it's ever been. Alright, so that changes things because now we're actually gonna have the level 3 ability again for the purples, and then we're gonna get the level 10 ability. Oh my god, that was the luckiest. We should have lost right there, guys. That should not have been happening, but I guess it's sometimes, you know what, sometimes it feels very good to get lucky sometimes. So let's use the level 10 ability. This is exactly what I wanted to do, by the way, to kind of burn through this entire wave. Okay, so let's get these sacrifices going on Adora. So the next level is gonna be level 14, in which she's gonna get 6 divine bolts. We're up to 5 currently, so let's just place like a random tower. Let's just have it like, I guess like a Ring of Fire is gonna do. So as soon as this guy pops and gets dealt with, I feel like, oh, we're gonna have the overclock as well. You know what, let me just use the overclock because it's 100% uptime. Oh my god, we don't have any time. Let's just sacrifice this thing. Let's use the level 3 ability, get through these guys, and look at this thing. She is becoming a lot more powerful. So 6 divine bolts, and we're actually that much closer to level 15 now. I feel like level 15 is a very important level for Adora because the divine bolts burn through an extra bloom layer. So what this means is that now she does 1 damage per attack, so 1 damage per divine bolt, and that thing is going to get up to 2. And that's really important because if you guys remember how the alchemist works, how all these divine bolts get extra damage, yeah, this is exactly what's happening. She's gonna get an extra damage for every single divine bolt. So one of the things that I wanted to do is I actually wanted to have this thing, the call to arms. So let's just buy it right now. Let's just get an ability. I feel like level 15 on Adora is kind of decent for this point in the game. We are obviously gonna go for as much as possible. I feel like we can kind of chill a little bit, and we need to get an extra ability just so we have buttons to click, right? Okay, you know what, we actually need level 16 because the long arm of light becomes even more deadly, and what that means is I think it gives double damage. I actually think that that's the upgrade. So I don't know, do we sacrifice something or do we kind of chill and let the round experience do its thing? I feel like let's chill for a second. Let's kind of try and use the abilities. So let's use the overclock plus the call to arms to start things off, and then I feel like, oh my gosh, she's attacking super fast, by the way. This is such a great buff, the call to arms to Adora. I feel like this is just one of the best things that you can give her. Okay, so this is actually gonna be a huge round for us. Let me use the level 3. Is this gonna be fine? How many UMGs was that? That's all of them. So 4 of them popped, but I feel like we might need to use the call to arms as well because the level 3 is about, oh, the level 3 already ran out. Okay, let me just use the call to arms then. And is this gonna be fine? It is gonna be fine, but how many pops is this guy gonna take? So he's at 1,000, and keep in mind he also gets the call to arms buff, which is not exactly, you know, spectacular on an alchemist, but it's just gonna help him take away so many pops. You know what, look at these rounds. I feel like we should probably get one more glue because this one is just not covering all these balloons, and then when they start popping, they actually kind of always make it towards, you know, this bottom side below Adora. So I feel like if we just get one more glue like this, it's gonna be a relentless one. We can remove this thing as well. And so this thing right here is the exact reason why I want to have the second glue, because these balloons are coming out, they're not getting glued from this one at the top because it's just too far away, and I feel like this is actually gonna be a very value tower that we just bought. So let's deal with these balloons. So we're gonna have the first DDTs in a second, round 90. So how does Adora deal with DDTs? We're level 17, and we're gonna need we're gonna need the 8 divine bolts essentially, but let's see how we do. She is not exactly oh my gosh, she's not doing that well versus DDTs. Wait a minute, how is 95 gonna look like with her? Okay, so 92, let's actually, you know what, let's use the Sabo and let's use the level 3 ability just to kind of, oh my god, look at those projectiles. They have so much pierce at this point when the level 3 is active. Yeah, so I just wanted to kind of get rid of these 45 mobs first. Let's actually use the level 10 ability as well. Just get rid of these mobs as fast as possible and start doing some damage onto the ZMGs is the most important part. So let's, while she's attacking, you know what, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna use the call to arms right now so we get some damage onto the ZMG layer, and then as soon as these guys pop, I'm gonna use the Sabo. Actually, I'm not gonna use the Sabo. I'm gonna use the level 10 ability, and we're gonna try and combine it with the level 3 ability and hope that this is enough, and then we're gonna get the call to arms plus the Sabo for the DDTs on 93 actually. I think that we did the right choice for this one, yeah. Yeah, so DDTs in a second, so let's use the Sabo for these guys and now call to arms, and even though we don't have any other abilities, I feel like this should be enough. Yeah, there we go, for these guys at least, and then 95 should be a little bit of an interesting round, I feel like, but let's see how we do on these ones first. Okay, so 94, I feel like we can go all out on this one, and the reason is that before the DDTs start appearing on 95, there's like a huge wave of purple, so I feel like if we just go all out on this one, it's not gonna be a single problem with that. So I'm just gonna use all these abilities and let's just watch Adora go to town on these balloons. Oh my god, they just disappeared, the small ones. So let's actually use the ball of light. Let me use the Sabo, and we're probably gonna need to use one more call to arms, it seems like, and this is a little bit concerning to me, guys, because I feel like while we're dealing with 94, how is 98 8 gonna go is my question. Alright, so this is it. Round 95, the deities are about to come out, and so here's this thing. We're missing about $3,000, which is just basically something like this for the next level. So as soon as these deities come out, I'm gonna sacrifice this guy, the little texture on the side. So there we go, we're gonna get level 18 on Adora, so she's gonna have 8 divine bolts, and let's just go to town with all these abilities. So let's sabo it up. So look at this thing, she's getting the minimum bonus from the blood sacrifice, and it seems like it's doing a decent amount, but let me just use the level 3 ability just to go through these deities a little bit faster, and I feel like yes, we absolutely have this thing. And you know what, this relentless glue, which is under range of the radar scanner village, this is doing all the work. All right, so for round 98 we are going to have at least level 19, and the reason for that is that we get some extra damage to 45 balloons, but ideally I would like to have a level 20 Adora. So let's see if we can make that thing happen. So first off, let's see how we do versus 96. I'm going to use the ball of light immediately actually, and now let's sabo it up, and let's, you know what, let's just go call to arms, and let's do a level 3 ability as well. Oh my god, the damage is insane. Oh my god, she's shredding these guys. Look at this thing, these UMGs are having a really tough time popping, and I feel like we should be looking towards the homeland defense, right? I don't know, guys. Let's use the sabo, and let's dump all abilities actually. I want to use everything. I know that round 97 is gonna have like these 2 UMGs, so we're not exactly worried about abilities in those rounds. So yeah, let's just get rid of these guys. So level 20 is actually very important for Adora because every single aspect of hers is going to get buffed, but the one that I'm most excited about is this thing, the duration boost from sacrifices. So the minimum amount of money that we can spend so that we get the maximum sacrifices for Adora is going to be 5,000. So first off, let me just do this. I'm gonna do a sacrifice actually, and I'm gonna get her to level 20. So bam, there we actually got to max level Adora, by the way. And so now in order for us to get the maximum sacrifices, we basically need about a $5,000 tower. So I was thinking of kind of cheesing this a little bit. Well, it's not cheese, it's kind of, you know, I was trying to be smart with this thing. So here's what I want to do. I'm gonna use the sabo and basically all of our abilities, and let's just see. She's going to town, by the way. So I wanted to, you know what, I wanted to just sacrifice the sabo, and so the sabo is gonna keep. Oh my god, where's round 98? Wait a minute, I didn't even have time to explain the buffs and the round is gone. I really feel like this level 20 Adora is just going to town everyone. Oh my god, I didn't even realize she's this strong. Wait a minute, I was just explaining what we're about to do and she just like deleted everything with like 2 buttons. Alright, so you know what, it looks like we have enough money for the homeland, so I'm just gonna buy the homeland and I'm gonna dump all these abilities. And let's just go to town. Look at this thing. She does so much damage, especially because the ball of light gets improved. But let's actually see how we're doing with the 2 mega pops, because we are getting kind of close to it. And so we're 1.93. The battler is not popping, it seems like. Are we going to have one more round of abilities? We do have a sacrifice going onto the sabo. So I think as soon as the bat pops, I'm going to use the sabo and I'm going to sacrifice the sabo. So let's go like this. Let's sacrifice this for some extra attack speed. Let's use the overclock. Let's use the homeland. And yes, oh my god, we just look at her just go to town. So 2 million pops, and how much over it did we go? So we are at 2,034,000. So that means that these alchemists that we had, and actually these dark monkeys and whatever towers that we had, they didn't take away too many pops. And now for the second part of the video, can we beat round 108 actually? Because that seems to be SJB's record. So let's try and beat this thing. So it's round 102 at this point. Adora is super strong, by the way, and I feel like once we're done with the 2 mega pops thinking, maybe we can buy some actual support towers and actually useful towers. So let's overclock, let's use the ball of light, and I feel like we should be having some trouble with the big balloons I was gonna say, but oh my gosh, she's just going to town on these balloons. She doesn't even care. And you know what, I'm just gonna have something like this. I'm like a Moab press. I'm gonna have this thing right here, and then it's gonna help a lot with these small Moab class balloons, but at the same time, if we need to sacrifice something, we're gonna be sacrificing it. So let's use this thing. Let's go like this. Let's use the level 3 plus the homeland, and look at these balloons. Oh my god, where are these balloons going? They just keep disappearing. She's so good. Is this where she falls? Because I see like, what is that, like like 30 BFBs beneath each other? I don't think this is it. No, this is absolutely not it. Okay, so let's use the sabo on this one, because this is a full DDT round, and I feel like, oh yeah, so she is struggling. So let's actually sacrifice the boomerang that we bought, get some extra damage going. Let me just buy one more. Let's get the ball of light going. Let's see if this is going to be enough. If she loses to a round, it's going to be this one, because there's like a huge wave incoming as well. We got the level 3 ability on time, and no, she defeats it. So this is round 107, so if we beat this one, we tie it up, and then we actually go over if we beat the next. I feel like we have to beat 108 in order for us to get the record, right? So let's see if we can deal with just a bunch of ZOMGs, which is basically the thing that we had the most trouble. Oh my god, these guys just keep coming out, huh? Okay, so to kind of send it off, here's what I'm gonna do. I'm going to use all these abilities at once, and I'm just gonna hope for the best. So, overclock, let's use the Sabo, and let's just click all of these buttons, and we need to sacrifice something, so let me just buy like a boomerang here on the side. Let me sacrifice it, and let's just watch Adora go to town onto these ZOMGs. She is absolutely melting them in round 108. Oh my god, it's not even gonna be a problem. And by the way, it took us 100 rounds to get to 2 million pops, and it took us 9 rounds to get to 4.5. Yeah, that's how crazy free play gets. But anyways, that's gonna be it for this one. I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I'm gonna see you all in the next